morning and welcome to the Olympian Table. And how are you all doing this morning, Mr. James?
Man, I'm doing much better. The temperatures are, feasible. And the weather is not frightful. I can actually get out there and, I didn't even have a jacket today, so it was cool. I got my winter wear on my face, but other than that.
How did you get through the freeze?
Actually, pretty good, man. It was cold. I think the coolest it got in the house was about 65. That woke me up out of my sleep a little bit. I'm like, ooh, had to turn the heat on a little. But man, we were well. I was prepared, had my generator ready to go just in case this grid went down. But man, we didn't have any issues at all. How about you?
Well, the last freeze we had about 30 freezes and bust pipes in different units.
Yeah.
This time round, we went a little bit over the top, to be perfectly honest. And we only had like 8 or 9 burst pipes.
Oh, okay.
And they was in between the walls. So there's not much we can do about them.
Yeah. Couldn't wrap those up
So
anyway.
on the whole, that was a big plus. Big plus. Jeffrey from our property management department did an absolutely wonderful job there.
Oh, that's good. Good.
Because it's what people don't understand is when you're managing the units like we are, it's not just one contractor you've got working over there. You're working with a number of contractors.
Yeah.
And I say that, for property management companies out there, if you want to get into property management, there's 2 main factors that determine how good you are as a property management company. 1, the level of contractors that you have, and 2, how quick you are at getting to your phone, because quite honestly, you try having 6 hours of a busted pipe in your unit, you ain't happy about it.
Yeah.
And you've got to deal with people screaming at you, which sometimes there's nothing you can do.
Well, I was out.
And how about this one? Give you a typical example. Christmas Eve, 4 o'clock, we get a call. Water heaters, a water heater that's probably 9 months old has gone down. So we called up the plumbing company. The plumbing company said, because the freeze came in Christmas Eve morning, so the problems aren't when it freezes. The problems are when it warms up again, and then you've got a busted pipe and you've got water coming out of it. So we called up the plumber. Plumber diagnosed the problem, and they said, sorry to tell you, because of the supply chain problems, we can't get the part for another 3 days. So we had, I think it was 3 buildings, all out of hot water over Christmas. Yeah.
So were they able to get it fixed? I mean, is it ready now, or is it you still waiting? Has that 3 days passed?
Supposed to be fixed today.
So I guess we'll see. At least it's not. I mean, not having hot water, regardless of what the temperatures are outside. If you don't have hot water, that's an issue. Period.
You get people screaming at you. You get people, yelling at you. It's on his throat today, but you get people, saying horrible things and blaming you, but there's nothing you can do.
Right.
It's quite simple. There's no parts. And over Christmas, it's very difficult to get people out there. Plus, it's a time and a half.
Yeah.
So, wish people had paid me time and a half for my job. So, what have we got on our glorious list? We got a huge list today.
Well,
this is probably the biggest.
We had some things that we haven't gotten to over the past few weeks. Is probably on there, and we may not get to everything.
One of my heroes is on this list.
But we did want to open with this first thing, because it's kind of fresh. We talked about it last week a little bit when I went through those videos. Remember that pastor that got robbed?
I like talking about pastors.
I know you. I know you
I
love
like talking about.
So the first 2 are going to be just delightful for you. So that gentleman, Bishop Lamore Whitehead, that had got robbed during the service, and then he kind of chokeslammed the lady afterwards. That was busted up the service time, and then they arrested him on fraud charges. Remember that guy?
Uh-huh.
Well, apparently he had been on comedian D.L. Hughley, who is one of the kings of comedy. He has a radio show where he comes on and brings people on there. And he brought Lamar Whitehead on the show. Now, after he brought him on the show, apparently, he dragged him. I mean, he's a comedian. So he's on there, and I think what he felt he was a bit ambushed for the interview because I haven't seen the interview. I will go and watch it. But D.L. Hughley interviewed him on his show, much like many other these radio shows do, and asking him questions about him being robbed and that kind of thing. But this guy got to the point to where he was expressing his unhappiness with how the interview went, and he challenged him to a duel in the boxing ring. So he said,
loving feeling.
Hey, there you go. He was on his feelings, right? He said, you will not walk over me, you will not villainize me, and you will not disrespect me. He goes on to say, meet me in the ring because y'all think y'all can walk over pastors. Let's set up a celebrity match, me and you in the ring. Now, first of all, this fool is not a celebrity. Let's just say that. D.L. Hughley is definitely a celebrity because, he's a king of comedy. We know who D.L. Hughley is. He was on it had an ABC hit show with him and his family. Not My Wife and Kids. What's the other one? I forgot whatever the name of the show was. Anywho, but he is upset because D.L. Hughley called him on his show, and I'm assuming he made fun of him while he was on the show to the point to where this guy's in his feelings, as you so eloquently put it, and he want to box. He wants to box this guy. So I think that'll be fun to see.
He would do, but the comedian's probably making fun of him in the ring.
Of course. I mean, if I get to the point to where
there's nothing like the loving time of Christmas.
I'm one of those people where I joke around a lot. You make fun of people and
get out of here. I think you're too serious.
Right? You kind of have poke a little fun at folks. But if I find out that I'm getting under your skin, oh man, that's just fuel to the fire for me. It's one of those things where you're getting mad about me joking or saying something to you. It's almost a win. So regardless of what happens in the boxing match, if they even do it, the fact that D.L. Hughley has gotten him to this point, this is funny. This is funny to me.
That's quite funny.
A boxing preacher.
Yeah. In England, we have the day after Christmas. It's called Boxing Day.
Yes.
Right, perhaps they should have done it.
That's the day after Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they should have done it the day after Christmas, on Boxing Day.
Well, it's not actually boxing.
No, there's a completely different meaning to Boxing Day in Europe.
Right.
But it would have been fun to have got him on.
That would have been
the day after on Boxing Day.
Well, yeah, I thought that was a funny little thing in there, and I saw that link on the paper here. Now the next one, you won't believe this.
Is it another church story?
Well, it's a church story, man. I mean, it's called the New Glow Baptist Church. Now, this is an adult show, meant for adults, but we're going to just kind of show you where these members of this church. This is the New Glow Baptist Church.
I'm going.
Located in Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm moving to Atlanta.
It says, "Come as you are."
Scroll
there are no
down.
dress codes.
Let's get to the real content. Hey, I want to go to this church.
These ladies of the New Glow Baptist Church.
Look, even the white guy to the side's having a laugh.
Man, this is amazing to me.
And that one lady down there, she's got to be Pastor Double D.
Hey, who knows, man?
She's probably in the east.
She needs to be baptized in Jesus' name because this is terrible.
Body would you use to baptize?
She may not go under the water. She'll be floating.
What church is this called?
Okay, so I don't think this is a real church. First of all.
It needs to be. It needs to be. This is how new churches
so
need
this
to
page, it's called New Glow Baptist Church. Now I will say that because that page there,
Go up a little bit.
The lady with the white hat on, that is obviously
the
Photoshop.
lady with the blue Gucci. I mean, she's having a problem even getting into the strap. But let me tell you, I'm going to that church.
Yeah, that one there in the white Photoshop in the hat, that is obviously Photoshop.
Do you know what the national fruit of Georgia is?
Peach.
Well, there you go, peaches.
This is a Photoshop. This is a Photoshop picture, and I think
You think it's Photoshop?
It was. I know this is Photoshop. Yeah, this is definitely Photoshop. So I'm not certain that this is a real church. I think this is a bunch of women that have gotten together and they've created, an opportunity to make some money. They're making some money. Here we are on the show talking about it. They're getting some exposure. We might have to add New Globe Baptist Church as a hashtag on here.
Can we have an all male? Can we have an all male church?
No, not me. You can go to that one.
You can go to that one. Yeah,
No, thank you. But yeah, this is so I found this. I thought it was kind of funny. I think I found it on Twitter, and these people were talking about this New Globe Baptist Church. I'm like, they wrong for even calling this a church, man. But I figured you find it funny.
I want to go to this church.
Now the funny thing is that looks like a church pews in the background there.
Well, they've probably taken the photo.
They probably put her on top of that to make it look like a church.
Oh yeah, this is definitely.
But it is unfortunate that they've done this because they're making a mockery of the church, man. That's not cool.
Is that hard?
That ain't cool. I'll tell you what, if it was a mosque, then they wouldn't be doing that.
Interesting you say that.
Or a synagogue.
I was
do that.
I was reading. Let's talk about that. I was reading an article about, and it was on BBC, which has a completely different view to in America. And he was saying, and it was from a mother of a child who is a Muslim, and they're walking around, they're seeing the Christmas tree, they're seeing the gifts, and the child is asking presents like, "Oh, mummy, who's the gift for? Who are the boxes for? What are the boxes under that tree? What's that tree over there?" And it really becomes an issue, all right, for some Muslims because they feel that their kids are missing out. But my personal view of that is tolerance. You're a Muslim, you've got your holidays, and I think tolerance is a big part of that. I think, but understanding one another's holidays and one another's traditions is part of that tolerance. And that's what I think is missing. Did Martin Luther King say that, tolerance?
Oh yeah, tolerance. I have to find the quote. I'll find it.
I think he's the one that originally, said that's the problem, is we all need to be more tolerant.
Right.
But I thought it was a real long story, but it was really interesting. And it's a woman walking around, London with all the trees and the lights and everything, and trying to explain to a child that, it was a Christian holiday.
Right. Well, yeah, I thought that was interesting, and quite frankly, this one ties into the next subject. Quite frankly, because there was a young lady in South Carolina who attacked her husband in the airport. In the airport, people are just doing all kind of foolishness in the airport over indecent photos in his phone. I think he was trying to look up the New Light Baptist Church. That's probably what it was. She attacked him in the airport, and
Is that her?
Yeah, we're gonna play this clip. It's playing.
Because you look at this not just from the criminal angle, but also from the sociological one of what is happening with the breakdown of moral values and of rising crime rates. Do you see a connection?
Yes, Dana, thanks for that question. Bad behavior now is being tolerated. Dana, every government, every school district has police power to protect.
Now, here's what I found. You can pause that.
And there's been a moral breakdown.
Yeah, here's what I found. This lady, her name was Paula Barber. She's 55 years old. She was charged with third-degree domestic violence. There she is, for physically attacking her husband when she found the explicit photos in her phone. Now, whether it was the church photos or if it was somebody else, who knows? But what are you doing? I guess sitting in the airport when your wife just grabs your phone, and I mean, was she searching through the phone? Are you looking at him while she's sitting there next to you? What is the world coming to where I don't understand. She looks like she might fight somebody. She don't look too.
Probably should have been in that boxing ring earlier.
You know what? Possibly with Lamar and old D.L. Hughley. But yeah, she was arrested. This was in Charleston. I've actually flown into that airport a couple of times. It's not a really large airport at all, but there was video of them fighting. I don't know if it was on this particular article, but folks are acting a fool in the airports these days.
Christmas is such a pressured time.
It is. People are, and who knows what kind of stress they may have been under because they folks couldn't get home during the holidays on some of this stuff. So it's unfortunate that they were fighting in the airport, but they were. They were definitely fighting in the airport. I guess we can jump to 5 and then come back to 4 since we're on airports.
Absolutely, let's do that.
So I didn't see this morning what was said, but I did see
we've had a family member that went to Orlando. He was due to come back last Thursday, and he's finally coming back today.
He was supposed to be back last Thursday?
And he spent Christmas in the airport.
Wow.
Him and his wife. Yeah.
So they've been just kind of, see, here's the thing. They were supposed to come back here?
They were supposed to be back here
Thursday,
yes.
And they just came back today?
They flew out of Hobby, and they was expecting to get back to Hobby, so they had cars at Hobby. So because of the problems with Southwest, they was moved to United. That was the first available flight, and that was today. So they flew now up to Intercontinental. Now they've got to get from Intercontinental down to Hobby to get their car to get home.
There's no way I would have stayed in Orlando, Florida for that long. I would have driven. I would have just rented a car and come home. It's not that far. I've driven that drive. 14 hours, 15 hours maybe. Probably longer than that. I was driving like 80, 90 miles an hour. But so here's the thing. A lot of people think this was due to Winter Storm Elliott. And according to the workers union, that this was not the case. This was completely on Southwest Airlines. The president of the airline's flight attendants union was quoted, "It's the saddest day in Southwest Airlines history. All of this is generated by Southwest Airlines' decision."
Have you seen number 11? I put that
It's
in.
not about Winter Storm Elliott.
The CEO.
This is something that we actually have forecasted. We run the operation so hot that one day it's just going to be recoverable when we hit these irregular operational issues. So apparently this is something that they've seen coming. They've seen it coming. You said number 11 was about this?
Yeah, the CEO, Bob Jordan, gives an update on cancellations.
Did he try to say it was due to the weather?
No.
Okay. Because this is definitely a union issue. And I think it was yesterday, 2,500 flights or so.
3,000 total.
Nobody realizes how many flights are going out. It's crazy how many flights go out.
And what hasn't helped was when we had the COVID, because the industry took such a knock.
Right.
There's very, very little people that are piloting planes now. And for anybody that's interested, apparently Alaskan Airlines have got a program now where if you fly for them, they'll even pay for your flight training.
Really? I might need to go check that out, huh?
Yeah.
Alaskan Airlines. I'm not going to go into Alaska.
As long as you're flying through Georgia.
Yeah, that was unfortunate that people were having to deal with that. Definitely unfortunate.
Come on, let's get on to number 6.
What you got?
This is a sad day for me.
Well, it was interesting how he did it. Did you see the tweet?
No, I didn't.
So this is the tweet that he puts out. I guess he just had a baby. And he puts, my heart is full, it's filled with nothing but love and gratitude. It's been an absolute honor. But he starts at Coy's first ever NFL game. my last ever NFL home game. So that's a bit of a way to let us know that J.J. Watt is done with the NFL. He spent, was it 10 seasons here
Yeah.
in
I've
Houston?
got endless amount of shirts with JJ's signature on. Downstairs, I've got him
Yeah.
on the wall. On all the offices, he was on the wall.
But he's retired. I guess he's done, man. The NFL, they say it stands for not for long, but I would say he's been in the league for a while now. He's about the same age as my little brother.
And he's a great character, does a lot for the local community. He cares for a lot of people.
He definitely did for Houston.
Yeah, above and beyond. I was so disappointed when he left, but you can't blame him leaving because we never won anything. So disappointing.
And not that we didn't win anything. They just lost terribly and made really bad decisions. So he was fed
I
up.
feel they let him down
I think they did too.
because he was such a quality player. He was one to sort of hold the team together. A lot of bad sports management decisions I felt were made when he was with us, but he was very, very supportive of the city, which I think was, wonderful. So, go on, tell us about this McDonald's. You're not supposed to eat McDonald's. If your wife finds out you're eating McDonald's,
I'm not eating McDonald's. What are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, you deny it. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. What I was talking about was number 5? This lady. So we live in Texas, and what I call number 4, what we call a pew pew state, right? And I think Missouri is also a pew pew state. Pew pew meaning pew pew, like you got guns, right? This lady was carjacked at a gas station, and apparently she tracked down her stolen car herself and killed a 19-year-old Darius Jackson and a 49-year-old Joseph Farrar. Now, here's my thought. Demisha Coleman was her name. If you are on that jury, just knee jerk. She got carjacked. They stole the car from her. She tracked him down and killed him. Just knee jerk. What's your thoughts? What are you giving her? You sending her to jail, or is it not guilty?
Well, the definition of murder and planned is it's got to be premeditated.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So
it's murder for sure, and one kind of assault.
If she had shot them at the gas station, then I'd say no. But because she actually chased them down, then it's murder.
She will be going to jail.
She actually shot 3 of them. One of them she shot in the head.
Oh, good.
So
She's a good shot.
So let's give some context to it. These guys have been harassing this lady for a while, and a lot of these carjackings have kind of been egged on by social media, people making little videos and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go out and jack this lady's car. This is the one that we're going after this today. Let's say if it was a Kia, brand cars. How many Kia cars can I get? And they come and they carjack you, and you roll up on them after they carjacked you. Where does our authority to protect ourselves? Where is it limited?
But the time to protecting herself was when the car was stolen, not when you go chasing after people.
So it's the chase.
To me, it is. Yeah.
It's the chase.
To me, it is.
She's
At that point, it become or should be the responsibility of the local police to take it on from there.
Here's the crazy thing: this lady had no criminal history.
But she'd been on the gun range a little bit. And done
Well,
some
here's how it reads. There's no It doesn't say who stole the car, but it says Coleman approached the car, the Hyundai Tucson, at a St. Louis Speedy gas station Wednesday night with a man who was also carrying a weapon. Police said after examining the surveillance footage, Coleman opened the door with her gun raised and started shooting. She told the detectives during the recorded interview that she went to the gas station to recover her stolen vehicle. She had no prior criminal history. So apparently they've been stealing cars with a USB cable to hotwire these vehicles. Some Kia and Hyundai cars from some trend or whatever on TikTok. It's unfortunate, but man, your heart kind of goes out to her a little bit because she might be a single woman living, trying to get to work. These fools steal her car, and 2 of them lost their lives. The one she shot in the head actually didn't die.
Probably did.
He did not die. Not to say that he will not die, but he didn't. Not from the headshot, exactly. That's unfortunate. Now, she got blue hair, which is a little different, but not a criminal. No criminal record. Man, sucks.
To me, there's a cooling off period. You know, if there's no cooling off period and it's reactionary straight away. If it was at the gas station, then it'd be clean cut. Defense.
So let's say it was here, and then you found the car at the McDonald's.
If it was here and somebody then call the police.
So you wouldn't go try to get it back.
No, I'd tell the police where it was, and from them it's down.
Because that's pretty close to here. I was just wondering difference.
But if somebody walked in this podcast room now, guns blazing, and we had the guns with us, and we shot them to defend ourselves, to me, that's defending yourself.
So what if they say that the guy had a gun? The guy had a gun as well.
Who came in here?
No. In her case, when she got there, they had a gun as well.
No, because then they're defending themselves, even though they stole the car.
It's so crazy. It's crazy, right?
It is.
It's like, man.
But I agree with that side of it, but I think you've got to. If not, we're just putting ourselves to utter craziness, even more craziness than we got. And my God, have we got some craziness?
Oh man, tell me about it. Yeah, it was unfortunate. All right, what else you got? You got something on here, huh?
I've got a few things.
Let's go to some of your stuff.
We got anything more with pastors?
Oh man, get off the churches, man. Leave them alone, brother. Leave them alone.
Oh dear. Okay, let's go to McDonald's.
Which number is that one?
8.
Gotcha.
McDonald's unveils the first automated location. Social media worried it will cut millions of jobs.
The jobs are already cut. Have you been in a McDonald's in a while?
Let me tell you, Christmas Eve, I went into Papa's Barbecue. I love Papa's Barbecue.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I love the.
What do you get there?
I get the ribs, and oh my God, what's the other one called? Brisket.
Okay.
And I love it. And I go in there, and the place was so crowded in the back of there, and the line was so long, waiting
really?
for food. It was incredible. It really was. But yeah, it was utterly packed. And but yeah, I mean, in food establishments, I think there's been a lot of jobs that have gone down. That's why the wonderful, this trickle down effect will never ever take effect, because I think it's just common sense that robots are going to take care of us, and there's going to be 2 types of robots. One is where the robot's can be there to assist somebody, and the one is they're going to take the job completely. I mean, and the other part is that makes it unfortunate for McDonald's. Is it hard to make a burger? I mean, not really. It's automated, and even from a quality standpoint, you'll probably get a better quality burger with the technology that's available.
Well, I know the locations that I've gone in here recently are very, very undermanned. You have to go to a kiosk. When you walk in, you go to a kiosk, you put in your order, and then there's a screen that says serving or preparing or whatever. And when your number pops up, they'll call it, hey, number 16, and you just pick it up.
See, I've not been in a McDonald's. It's got to be for 18 months. It's got to be for a long time. I don't know how exactly long, but it's been a long, long time.
It's crazy, man. But, that's where we live now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is where we live.
Absolutely. And then let's go to, we're going to forget number 9. We'll talk about that tomorrow at the Texas Real Estate Show because we've got a guest coming in who it'll be interesting to address that a little bit with her. Let's go on to number 10. Go Jaden. Have you seen this on TikTok?
I haven't.
You haven't seen this?
Who's Jaden?
Oh, you're going to love this. Maybe.
If you can get the right clip up, we'll be all right.
That is the right clip. That's number 10.
Yeah, that's
it.
it.
It is? Okay, all right, go on then. Let's go.
My 8-year-old is spreading a lot of Christmas cheer this season. Happened in a new viral post. To
Oh, I
Instagram
saw that little
holiday
kid.
performance.
Yeah.
But is he going around
That's
that?
him in the 49ers
Oh, Jaden is
jacket.
getting his jig
Yeah.
on.
Dances the entire performance. The other kids.
The John Travolta of 2022-23.
Boy and his dad about his holiday bust a move.
Look at him. Has he got his moves on or what?
This was the second grade holiday performance at Beechwood School in Menlo Park. Jaden, in your top right corner, says he really just started to feel the music.
Shout out to my friends too, because they did an amazing job.
Then the 8-year-old couldn't contain himself.
I feel it coming into my body and just want to dance.
Audience laughing and cheering him and the students on.
Just want to make them happy and wonderful for them so they can see something,
A classmate's mom posted the video on Instagram and it has more than 600,000 likes. The star is 8-year-old Jaden Williams. He says it was spontaneous and just felt right at the time.
My teacher didn't ask if I could dance, but I wanted to dance. I want to make the audience happy.
He's been a self-admitted dancer since he was 2 and really enjoyed taking dance classes for about a year. Jaden loves to move any chance he gets.
I love dancing. It's my blood.
As he was moving around, I was like,
We'll see him on America's Got Talent shortly.
He'll be on there.
As soon as he hears the music, it just takes over.
His favorite team taking notice, the 49ers, commenting on Instagram, "Okay, Jaden, we see you."
1,000 out of 1,000. I'm a huge Niner fan.
Other celebrities writing encouraging messages too. It was reposted by actress Viola Davis with the caption, "Go Jaden." But his dad, Kirk, says the most important one was from a stranger.
From a lady that was having a bad day, was down during the holidays, and she commented how she saw Jaden's video, and it just brought an instant smile to her face.
Jaden lives in San Jose, but goes to school in Menlo Park near his mom's work. His dancing is bringing a lot of smiles this holiday season. This year, the love he's getting is making his too.
Yeah, I just want them to have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend for everyone.
In San Jose.
Is that a
Ian
cool
Cole,
kid or what?
NBC.
Hey, man.
Is that really on
Go
a
Jaden.
cool kid?
Go Jaden. Hey, he cutting up there though.
And he's at the age when he's got no responsibility.
Nothing, not a care in the world.
Yeah, and he's just like,
Kids are the best, man. When they get to that age, they just, they're not tainted. They're just a truth, a dose of truth for everybody.
And then let's talk about number 12, George Santos.
That's all you, man. What you got?
Well, George Santos, by all accounts on his bio, lied about most of what was on there, for the election.
Is that the one that made up all of that stuff and said he
made up all
misspoke?
this stuff, yeah. And then he said that he misspoke. Now,
didn't he say he was Jewish?
What's that?
He said he was Jewish.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Now, you're a little bit more centre right. What's your feeling on that? If whoever it is, whether they're on the left, the right, the centre, the ups, the downs, and they lie on their application, if you want to call it, what do you think to that?
Well, here's the thing.
You might be surprised at my answer, by the way.
I don't know much about this guy. But it's not cool to lie to get what you're doing. But is he doing the job? Did he got the votes to get elected to the position? And quite frankly, the people that are supposed to do the investigating or the vetting of these people, they should have found this stuff out.
Do they have people that will look at and vet them?
Yeah, they're supposed to. They're supposed to have something. But I put it on them, you know, and I'm not excusing him. He shouldn't have lied. But if he's doing the job, I mean, who cares? I mean, I don't know if you remember the Metro bus CEO or years ago, they found out that she didn't have some kind of something or another here in Houston.
Driver's license?
No. No, she got in trouble for some either schooling or certification or something, but she had been working for the company for decades, and they fired her because of that little loophole. It's like, who cares?
Let me tell you, well, it's not that I don't care, first of all, let's say that, but should Mr. Santos have lied? And of course, the answer to that is no. But my answer is, to a certain degree, perhaps the public should have done a bit of research.
That's exactly what I'm getting at, yes.
With the internet, it's very easy to, although you don't know where to get your sources these days with fake news and everything else. But the other part of this is they voted him in. I personally don't think he should go on any special committees. You know, they have everybody on different committees, but I think they should be very careful what they, put him on. But the truth of the matter is he really a Republican, or does he come in as a nothing? Do you understand? As an independent? Because his values, do you understand? He was voting as a Republican, but are his values really a Republican?
Lining up.
Because that should make a difference anyway.
Yeah.
You know, he could be more independent. I mean, he won the election, which, whether you like it or not, is fair and square, apart from the fact that he lied. I don't think he's going to have a hard time, I think, on re-election, unless he does a good job. So the pressure's on him, I think, to really pull something out the bag for his electors. That's why I thought it was interesting from your point of view to see what your sort of,
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Feel the same way.
But he's really got to start, getting it done.
Okay, so I found that lady. Her name was Shirley DeLibero. She was a Metro Transit Authority president. And it came out that she did not hold 2 associate's degrees listed on her resume. She said that she would never intended to deceive anybody about her education, but this woman had been working for Metro since like '99.
Is this in Houston?
It was Houston. She had been over New Jersey Transit Authority. She had worked her way up the ranks, and because she didn't have this associate's degree that they mentioned, they ended up terminating her or whatever. So I just thought it was stupid.
What, did they terminate her?
They terminated her for that reason. It wasn't a job performance, but nevertheless, she
some of the top companies now are taking people on because of the shortage, even people that haven't got degrees where they've needed degrees before.
Right.
Because they just
They don't have enough people.
They can't find the people.
Yeah.
So I personally, that's a good thing, because you got a degree doesn't mean to say that.
That doesn't mean much. Most of these folks that I see out, they have a degree in
I will never
literature.
forget when I was back in the
doing a
80s,
different job.
And you know, Cadbury's a chocolate firm.
Mm-hmm.
Cadbury's a chocolate firm. And I was speaking to the main guy in the UK about Cadbury's chocolate, because I was born in Birmingham, and that's where Cadbury's originated from. And that's how the conversation started. And I said to him, "What have you got to do to work for Cadbury's?" He said, "Well, because we have these reps come round." And there was a lot of reps in them days that used to come round. It was a different rep every time. He used to go round to the stores. And basically he said, "Well, we need a degree of some sort." And when he told me all the qualifications that you need to sell frigging chocolate, all you was doing was going round and checking the vending machines, that they're even
stupid.
you've even got the product in the vending machine. Because
Chocolate sells itself.
and I'm
It's
like,
delicious.
I'm like, really? You go to college, you get a 4-year degree or a 5-year degree, whatever it is. You get a degree in, I don't know what. Let's say history. You become a chocolate salesman, and all you're doing is going around and these people were paid well.
Oh
They
yeah, I
were paid
believe
very
it.
well. All right, number 13. Have you seen this?
Oh, nope.
Tesla.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Your favorite, right?
Mr. Musk, in my opinion, is about to get a wake-up call, because have you seen what Tesla stock is down to?
I know it was, what was it, one something?
109. Somebody that I know very well that's really into the stocks is saying that she thinks the Tesla stock will go down to about 80 cents.
80 cents?
Yes.
What?
Now you just imagine what this is doing to people's retirement plans.
Oh, all the retirement plans are trash right now anyway.
And it's just unbelievable.
Tesla's at 110 right now.
Right. And it's very, very, it's disappointing in my opinion. But as I said to you a long time ago, my opinion is that what needs to happen is Mr. Musk, I think if he does step to the side with Twitter, and he said he's got a successor in place, he's probably Mr. Trump.
Trump can't run Twitter.
Why not?
That's not his realm. He don't know. No, that's not going to happen.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was? But I mean, quite honestly, I think. Okay, well let's get into a bit of fun here. Okay, who would be your choice to run Twitter?
I don't give a two rats.
No, come on, no, come
patooties.
on.
I
Stop
really,
avoiding the
honestly, I really don't have enough thought of it for me. Twitter is really kind of the
Kanye
cesspool.
West?
I think Twitter's the cesspool of social media, quite frankly. So anybody can run it. I really don't care.
Who's the best person running a cesspool?
Well, Elon Musk.
Oh, that's a bit rough. Come on.
Elon Musk. I mean, honestly, he has the personality to run it. I think it's the worst of them because there's really nothing. There's no guardrails in Twitter.
Now, apparently he's about to announce it, but I want to know. I was thinking that. I was actually thinking about it driving to the podcast.
He's found someone.
Apparently, he's found a successor that he's going to release.
Oh, I thought he said
But
he
I was
wanted
thinking
to
to
find
myself
someone.
on this podcast this morning. What we should do is to say, who do you think would be the best person at running Twitter? If it was your choice, you were in Elon Musk's position, who do you think should run Twitter?
I don't know who is even First of all,
Well, I mean, personally, I think it should be somebody like, what's the Hart? Chris Hart? Is it Chris Hart? What's his name? The comedian.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
No.
Yeah, let's get Kevin Hart.
No way.
I think it needs to be one of
No way. No
Dave
way.
Chappelle.
Him either.
That's
now,
it,
Dave
that-
Chappelle maybe, but no.
That would he should be running Twitter because that way everybody. I'd even go onto Twitter then because I think it'd be fun. I mean, every time you look, at least you could laugh at something.
Dave Chappelle can't do it because he really doesn't care what people think. Really, Kevin Hart does. He folded.
You get Will
some time
Smith.
back.
He goes slap a
Oh,
few people.
not that dude either. I honestly, I don't know who could do it. Seriously, you have to be someone who doesn't care what people feel, what they think. You mentioned Kanye West in jest, but he might be one. Shoot, Ricky Gervais.
Prince Harry.
He don't care. Oh, Harry. He's got other stuff to do. He's got to control that woman of his. But yeah, that I don't know, man. Who that could be?
Oh, that was when I was driving and thinking, who the heck could we get to run Twitter?
Yeah.
Be interesting to see who it is. So yeah, what's interesting about the Tesla thing is if you just read this, Tesla buyers who waited months for their new car have had an unusual choice to stay there for much of the past 2 years. Keep the new electric vehicle or sell it at a profit to someone with less patience. The days of the Tesla flip are numbered, a potential threat to new car prices that are already getting cut. Prices of used Teslas are falling faster than those of other car makers, and clean energy status symbols are languishing in dealer lots longer. Industry data provided by Reuters showed the average price for a used Tesla in November was $55,754, down 17% from a July peak of $67,297. The overall used car market posted a 4% drop during the period, according to Edmunds data. The used Teslas were in dealer inventory for 50 days on average in November, compared with 38 days for all used cars. Now, I ordered a Tesla back in January, February, and there was a 6 months waiting list. Now, I ended up cancelling because the interest rates went up. And them interest rates going up put a huge... The interest rates went up from like 0.9%. You know, I think they've dropped again now. They've dropped down again.
Right.
But I guess the day of reckoning is there for Tesla.
I don't know.
The tide of change, I think, is happening.
I got a buddy of mine that owns one that has been holding about flipping, and he won't be happy to see this.
Yeah. Well, apparently that's, you know, now the Tesla last week doubled its new car price, cut to $7,500 for the Model Ys. You know, the government are giving you $7,500 off your taxes if you buy one before the 30th or the 31st. But that's why I think it's going to be very. And I have I not said this all the time? In Europe, there's more competition. And people have argued in me off the table. There is more electric competition in Europe for Tesla. Tesla is the number one car in Europe. But what I think people fail to miss is the car structure is in place for the likes of Volkswagen, which is the biggest car dealership in Europe. The structure's in place, the manufacturing plants. Now, Tesla have got an advantage. They're building all their plants from scratch, all right, but the disadvantage is with, you know, so they're putting the battery in the bottom. So they're designed from day one, from inception, as an electric car. What's happened with Volkswagen and Ford and everything else, they've had to adapt their factories for an electric car. But so I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the future. But when you see stocks go down like that, you have a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So I really think it's a problem to do that. So what else we got, James?
Man, I think we have. Should we pretty much hit that list, man? It was pretty good. I know we have a couple of things that we're gonna cover for tomorrow. Unless you want to hit 14, that's one of yours. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, why not? Let's finish off with something that you
All right.
really like and love. This is a beauty.
Of course it is.
Go on, put this on, get that volume going. Let's get your opinions on this.
And as far as the ATF is concerned, they should be abolished. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, that should be the name of a convenience store, not a government bureaucracy. This absolutely has to come to an end. Me and my colleagues, we have fought the ATF on so many issues. They have more than 1 billion names in a database of firearm purchases throughout America. That sounds like a registry to me. That is unconstitutional. They have already overexerted their authority in the executive branch, and they need to be abolished. They need to be held accountable.
So this is Lauren Boebert calling for the abolition of the federal agency focused on enforcing federal firearm statutes and investigating arson, bombings, and explosives. Because I'm sure if you ask Americans which agency they'd like to see eliminated,
All right. Now let me ask you about. I thought the Republican Party was the party of.
Don't ask me any questions about the Republican Party because I'm not Republican.
I thought the Republican Party were the people for support law enforcement. Do you think that's changed?
Do I think it's changed?
Mm-hmm. Do
No.
you think their values have changed with the Republican Party?
No.
When she says that,
Do the value have changed?
yeah, that she thinks the ATF are a convenience store.
No, we're talking about one lady. How can she be the representative for an entire party?
Well, for the next week, I'll show you the conversation between Lauren Boebert and what's the other one, Marjorie Taylor Greene. They had a difference of opinion. I'll bring that video next week.
Well, when you have people getting into politics, bro, that didn't graduate from high school, and then they're suddenly multimillionaires, and these politicians, and no knock on her, hey, she got her GED, it's all good, but for this lady to now be the voice for an entire party, to your point, I can't say that that's the case. She just happens to be a louder voice now for what she supports. So, it is what it is. It is what it is.
For the record, I don't agree with the abolition of the ATF, the FBI, the CIA. I don't think it's. I really don't think it's a conspiracy. I think they're part of the institution that we have, and we need them, and we value their service. So,
I don't keep up with them, but she's got voted in Colorado again, so and she
I just
won,
can't believe
won
it.
pretty handedly.
I just can't believe how people, see value in her. Personally, I just can't see I just can't see what the value is. End of story. But anyway, with that being said, that's the Olympian Table for another week. We've got
That
2 hours
is.
an hour, so that's pretty cool. All right. So with everybody, we want to wish you a happy new year. We will see you in the new year. Be safe. For all the people that are dealing with all the snow across the country, please stay safe. The numbers are rising for the amount of deaths, which is unfortunate.
Absolutely.
But please stay safe. And as we said last week, checking on your neighbours, make sure they're okay. There's always people out there that might need a bit of help. So with that being said, goodbye, God bless, and stay safe.